Manchester United's night. How they have thirsted for this. How long they have thirsted for this. And Old Trafford feels as Old Trafford should feel. The night it all changed. The night they came to life. Erik ten Hag has his teeth into the job. Manchester United have their teeth into the season.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? It's what? Wednesday, the 7th of December. There's no World Cup football today. I know. It's very sad. Let's all take a moment just to think about that. But we're going to have football back on Friday in terms of the World Cup. We've got Manchester United back tonight, though. United against Cadiz. We're going to speak about that friendly a little bit later on. I'm going to run through my predicted 11 video that I did yesterday. But, of course, we've got to speak about Gonzalo Ramos after that, quite frankly, magnificent hat-trick for Portugal last night. Came in to replace Ronaldo, and did he replace Ronaldo? It was out of this world. Some people have been all up in my comments, up on Twitter and in here as well. Oh, so reactionary. It's like, guys, we've been speaking about Gonzalo Ramos as a potential option for about 3-4 months now. Just because you've only just seen him after he scored a hat-trick against Portugal, it doesn't mean other people weren't talking about him beforehand. So we'll speak about Gonzalo Ramos. We'll speak about Cody Gakpo and the apparent 75 million euro price tag that's been put on him by PSV, significantly more than the 43 million euros they turned down from Leeds for Gakpo during the summer. We'll speak about Real Madrid signing Endrick, the 16-year-old, for in excess of 70 million and what effect that's going to have. And then we're going to turn our attention towards tonight's game. Comments from Erik ten Hag. We'll speak about individuals we're particularly looking forward to. And we'll have a good old discussion here in the comments. Who's down here as well? Let's have a quick look. Let me quickly turn that off there. I can see there's two Santas in the comments straight away. Sigmund and Alex, the two proper G's. Proper G's. Is that a thing? Well, it is now, apparently. Of the channel. Absolute legends. Nice to see you both there this morning. And it is the month of giving, right? So remember, as always, we're doing a giveaway every single day here on United People's TV on these live streams. All you got to do is hit 500 likes and I open the box. Let's see what's in the box today. Who are the lucky 10? Haley De Simone. We've got Seth Benedict, Matthew Wynn, Kevin Key, and Arnold Stevenson. And Alex, you gifted 5 as well. Amazing, man. Honestly, the generosity, it won't ever... I won't ever take it for granted. I still find it staggering. I really, really do. And the lucky 5 from Alex. We've got Nino, Mansi, Urte, Chrissy Hilton, Marvelous Paul. Oh, marvelous in yourself. Kazito as well. Congratulations to all of you. But good morning. Let's talk. Who's down here in the comments? We've got Stephen Rossborough. Good morning to you. Hip Hop Juice, Charlie Hughes, Andali, Fizz41, Dipesh, Stephen Berry, John, Daisy. Jonathan, I can see you there. Hopefully it's working on Facebook this morning, today. I have no idea why it wasn't working on Facebook yesterday. I haven't actually changed anything. So it should just be working. But look, Josh, I can see you down there in the comments. Carl, Gungshi, Ben, Carl on Facebook, Niels, Fabrice watching from Belgium. Good morning to all of you. Let's talk about him, right? I did a reaction video last night. I felt that the performance from Gonzalo Ramos warranted the fact that I did that reaction. I haven't actually done many individual reaction videos to much of what's gone on during the World Cup, apart from Luis Suarez crying. But Gonzalo Ramos came in. He'd only played 33 minutes for Portugal prior to the World Cup. He hadn't made a World Cup appearance yet. He's only 21. And he came in for Cristiano Ronaldo. And it was a massive, massive call by Santos, right? It was a massive call. And it was the correct call. Portugal last night, probably the best 90-minute performance we've seen at the World Cup so far. You let me know what you think about that in the comments below. You type yes or no. Do you think that was, for me, it was just, they were just, the goals they were scoring, it was incredible. And I'm not just talking about Gonzalo Ramos's, but if I was just to speak about Gonzalo Ramos, wow, that first goal. For me, it was the pick of the bunch. I said it in my match reaction, my reaction to his match and that performance yesterday. Just the left foot, took it early, keeper had no chance, and he put it in the postage stamp at like 100 miles an hour with his left foot. Oh, such a good goal. A proper striker's goal, that one. Wow. As good as Cody Gakpo's finishing has been during the World Cup, that was just on a different level altogether, wasn't it? The second goal, Diogo Dalot with the assist. Boy, mate, Diogo Dalot, man, what a transformation. Wow. We'll speak about him a little bit later in the video. But his great season continues. And then that third goal, just an outrageous little dink and a chip. I said it in the reaction yesterday. Considering the narrative around him coming into the team, coming in from Ronaldo, he's only 21. It was his World Cup debut. There's so many reasons why he would be nervous and not really playing it up to his own capability. And he just blew it all out of the water. Andy, you're going as far as saying you'd like Gakpo and Ramos both together. Well, Ramos, look, I'm going to quickly pull a video up here before anybody. I think someone's joined as a member. Let me quickly give you a shout out. The Life with Tesla. Oh, look, it'd be nice to get a Tesla. I test drove a Tesla once, and I'll be honest, it was the best thing I've ever done in my life, but there's no way I could afford one. In terms of Gonzalo Ramos, I'm going to quickly pull this video up because I don't like having to defend myself, but here we go. People accusing me of just reacting to Gonzalo Ramos bagging in a hat-trick yesterday. Yeah, cool. If that was the first time you've seen Gonzalo Ramos, that's probably the first time you've spoken about him. It's not the first time we've spoken about him here on United People's TV as a community at all. This is from a video back in September. I think he's going to be a name that a lot of clubs are looking at. A player who I imagine as the season goes on and progresses, we're going to be talking about him a little bit more. But Gonzalo Ramos definitely is one to take a look at, definitely one to put on the potential list, because I can't imagine that Benfica would like to let him go in January, but his stock is only going to keep rising and rising and rising. And the stock is definitely rising and rising further after that performance there in the World Cup. As I said, it was probably the best individual, performance we've seen at the World Cup so far, I think. You can let me know what you think. I'm not here saying, I'm not there to blow my own trumpet and say, oh, look, Gonzalo Ramos is obviously somebody that we should be looking at in the wider market. And what I'm just trying to say here is just because you've only just seen him play for Portugal once at the World Cup, it doesn't mean that we haven't been already. And this is what I mean. United should have already been looking at Gonzalo Ramos. And I imagine we probably would have. It goes back to the debate that we've been having all week, really, about whether or not we feel that the attacker that Manchester United signed needs to be that proper number 9. Needs to be that player who really just occupies central areas and kind of makes the 18-yard box his home. You know, a bit like Van Nistelrooy. I'm not saying that Gonzalo Ramos is Van Nistelrooy because, let's be honest, he's not Van Nistelrooy. But in terms of the positions that he holds, he's somebody who stays far more central compared to someone like Cody Gakpo. So I think that a video that I'm going to do at lunchtime today, it is a good video to do, is to discuss Ramos and Gakpo and put them side by side and say, right, let's look at the pros and cons of each player. Let's look at how much they cost, and let's look at them positionally, because I think we've had this discussion quite a few times in the comments. I'm going to put that into a video. Alex, you're saying that Ramos will cost what Gakpo was before the World Cup. I have no idea how much Gakpo is going to cost, but I think he's going to be in the region of I'll speak about that in a little bit, actually. You're probably looking somewhere north of 60 is a fair amount. And I think you're wrong if you believe that Ramos is going to cost about 45 million euros. Remember who's selling him. Benfica. Benfica get great money for their players, let alone after. And mate, I'm sure you saw the cameramen, the photographers was crazy yesterday, all chasing Ronaldo. Replacing Ronaldo was such a big story yesterday, and he's now announced himself to the world. I don't think there is, man. No one else has mentioned it down here. Agent Bruno, let's hope so. Let's really hope so, Agent Bruno. Let me read a few of your comments down here. Have United... Look, Amy, we're going to have to presume that United have got stuff behind the scenes, that United are actually improving in that sense. And I imagine they are. I mean, we're not that stupid a club. Let's be completely honest. Faisal, I think we've had that discussion earlier in the week. Let's see what else we're saying down here. He's another youngster playing without fear. Benfica will demand 70, north of 70. I think so as well, man. I really, really think so as well. Benfica are notorious at getting big prices for their players. They got 100 million for Dalot and United in total. They got 110 million for João Felix. And we'll speak about João Felix a little bit later on. Then you've got, I don't know, Di Maria. You've got David Luiz. You've got Nemanja Matic. Their scouts really are absolutely fantastic. They really, really are. And something I was going to pull up, I think I may as well pull it up now. Let me show you this. This is kind of what I mean. And this is what I'm going to discuss in a little bit more detail in the video later on, right? When I discuss Ramos and Gakpo together. This is Gonzalo Ramos's heat map from this season at Benfica, right? Look at that heat map. Look at where he occupies. Let me just zoom in on that. May as well go full screen. Gonzalo Ramos is somebody who lives inside the penalty box. Let's get that. And let's get a nice big circle around that. Why not? On. Oh. Go off there. Go there. Look at that. That's where he occupies. He makes that his home. He's a very different type of player to Cody Gakpo. And that's why that video is necessary today. Because we've had this discussion quite a few times here over the last week or so. My instinct tells me that that I don't think Erik ten Hag is specifically looking for somebody like Gonzalo Ramos, somebody who just hogs the middle of the penalty area. I don't personally think that's the case. I see Ten Hag as looking for another Anthony Martial type player, somebody who can play through the middle, but somebody who also can play on the wing, somebody who does have the versatility to his game. That's kind of what it strikes me as. But when you're looking at that performance there, at that individual performance, and as I said, nobody is signing a player off the back of one performance at the World Cup. But if I was able, and we were able to, as a community, back in September, to be having a conversation about Gonzalo Ramos, you'd have to hope that Manchester United, as a football club, as a scouting department, were already a couple of months ahead of us, because they really, really should be. That's why I think so anyway. I think down there we've got Gungshi. Yeah, man, Gungshi as well. Don, thank you very much, Gungshi. You've gifted 5 memberships as well. That's Alex, that's Gungshi, and Sigmund all this morning. 15. It's raining memberships here today. Lawsy Ray, Thean DK, Benjamin John, Min Hein, and Mpedi Mello. You are the lucky 5 there. Say thank you very much to the big G that is Gungshi. Elijah, look, mate, yeah, talk about Benfica's scouting system. Geez, can we just go to Benfica and just do a little buy one get one free deal? That'd be nice. Good question there for Mania, saying, will he be effective at us? We're not very good at creating chances. I think it's a good question to ask, because the way we have been playing, and probably the most exciting football we have played during the preseason tour. I'm not saying that's the most exciting football we had, but that was a real glimpse as to what we could do, because we haven't really played with Martial all season. Look, it leads into this conversation, right? Because Ronaldo, seemingly, Ronaldo is just isolating himself from everything in his professional life at the moment. He isolated himself at Manchester United, isolated himself from the manager, isolated himself from the players, and ended up isolating himself from a lot of the fans with that interview with Piers Morgan. He decided to burn every bridge. He decided to stand on the head of the club and make the club drown so he could jump out and get out on his own, because that's what he wanted to do. And now Santos came out in the press after his reaction when he was substituted in the previous game and said, no, I wasn't happy with it. And then Ronaldo was dropped for this game. And then Portugal put in the best team performance that they put in at the World Cup. I would probably say the best overall performance at the World Cup. And they were flying. And Ronaldo's made his choices here. Now, I understand, and I completely agree, that what happened with Ronaldo and his son, I still question whether he's, well, I can't say that fairly or unfairly, but I still question whether he's had the ability and the time to grieve. And I would say that Ronaldo's personality now is being driven by that somewhat. But it doesn't give you the right to be a dick. And I think the way that Ronaldo's gone about this, with his exit from United, clearly what's going on as well with Portugal, he's being a dick. He's made his own choices. And now, full well, we are seeing Santos be vindicated in the same way that Erik Ten Hag was justified in dropping Cristiano Ronaldo. We were a better team without him. Portugal now are a better team without Ronaldo. This isn't. I'm taking. It is what it is. We'll probably get another. Probably get another interview with Piers Morgan at some point about it. Andy, you're saying this. Saying Statman Dave video needed on Portugal with and without Ronaldo. Bet that. I mean, Andy, you don't need a video from Statman Dave. Watch that game against Switzerland, who, by the way, Switzerland were pretty decent. I know Switzerland weren't incredible at the World Cup, but they weren't a team that you would expect to get pumped 6-1 by Portugal, certainly after how Portugal played the World Cup. A lot of watching Portugal at this World Cup prior to that game there was very United, wasn't it? Kind of a bit of dominance, a bit of control, but it's like, no, cutting edge. And Ronaldo missing chances. It was like watching United. And you're saying this. It's amazing the difference between a player playing for the team. Hey, look, geez. Ronaldo and that personal glory was what drove him, and also the teams around him, and that was what made him so brilliant. But when those two things are on a different path, you're seeing the bit of the car crash that it is, and it's happened at Manchester United. It's happening now at Portugal. And Gonzalo Ramos, he's coming straight into that team against Morocco. There's no chance that Ronaldo gets into that team. Absolutely no chance. And he does not deserve to, because he was brilliant. Now, V Cobra, you can go down here and say, look, Switzerland weren't very good yesterday, though. I personally think that Portugal were just dominant. In the same way that, look, I know, Jonathan, you're down here saying that Spain were like watching Van Gaal's United. Morocco's defense was so good that it made them look like that. Spain had the quality to break through. They had Asensio on that pitch. They had Ferran Torres in the end. They had enough quality on that pitch to score goals, but they just could not create massive chances because that Morocco defense was so resolute, so good. And that penalty from Hakimi, Madrid-born Hakimi doing a Panenka. Fair play to Morocco. And yeah, good luck to Morocco. If Portugal are playing like that, Portugal get into the semi-final. And then they're going to play the winner of England or France. That will be very, very interesting indeed. Michael, this is probably what I would say. Portugal was so good yesterday that they just made Switzerland look so disgustingly average. And Switzerland had absolutely no response to it. No response whatsoever. There's, of course, yesterday, I mean, we just spoken there quite a bit of detail about Gonzalo Ramos. We mentioned there about Cristiano Ronaldo. But come on here. Let's speak about the man who is just lighting it up. Brian, you've got Morocco in the sweepstake. Who got Morocco in our sweepstake? Let's have a quick look. Where is it? I'll pull up the sweepstake here. World Cup sweepstakes. Who got Morocco? Let's have a look. Liban Abouli Abdi. You got Morocco. Liban, you had a great time there. But look, Bruno Fernandes at this World Cup. He got an assist yesterday for Pepe's goal from the corner. He could have and should have had an assist when he put a little slide rule pass through to Gonzalo Ramos. 3 assists and 2 goals in 4 appearances at the World Cup. It's mind-boggling how influential Bruno Fernandes is. And we are so lucky. We are lucky to have Bruno Fernandes. We are lucky to have Lisandro Martinez. If we're looking at, and Casemiro as well, if we're looking at cornerstones that we are building this United team around going forward, we're looking at those 3, in my opinion. Martinez, Casemiro, and Bruno. They're going to be some of the cornerstones of it. And he was just brilliant again yesterday. And I've been... I keep, every time I mention Bruno, I have to say how strange it is how much I've had to defend him. How much criticism I've seen him receive. It staggers me. I just cannot understand it. I really, really don't. What we're on now? We're on 230 likes. It looks like we're going to be easily getting to the 500 today. Make sure you drop a like on the video. We can open little topless Cantona wants to open his box. Julie, what can we expect from the game against France? It's going to be... I'm really looking forward to it. I think it should be one of the games of the World Cup. I really, 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 really hope that Brazil beat Croatia and Argentina beat the Netherlands, because I need to see. I need it. I need that game in my life. I want Brazil and Argentina in the World Cup semi. I need it. Please don't take it away from me. But look, right? Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to say it. I can wax lyrical about Bruno Fernandes here. But how good's Diogo Dalot been? He hasn't started every game. The games he's come in, he's got an assist in both. And it's not just the assist. He got a goal line clearance as well. Just Diogo Dalot, man. So much has been said about him. They're still like, I'm not sure. Maybe not. He has been game in, game out. I think he's started every single game for Manchester United this season. His fitness has been absolutely outrageous. Outrageous. The levels of his performances have been world class. He kept Cancelo out of the team yesterday. Santos chose to leave Cancelo on the bench for Diogo Dalot. That in itself is a massive, massive thing. And he delivered, and he deserved that trust with what was another fantastic performance from Diogo Dalot. Got the assist for Gonzalo Ramos' second goal. I could do with that link up. Dalot, Bruno, Gonzalo. Boop. Brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant from all of United's players there against Switzerland. Diogo Dalot, Bruno Fernandes, and Gonzalo Ramos. No, I'm not joking about. I'm joking about Gonzalo Ramos. But it's just, isn't it amazing? It's amazing how good United are at the World Cup, just as a whole team. I've already done a video where I ranked my top 5 United players at the World Cup so far, and I had Bruno Fernandes down as number 1, and I stick by that. But come the end of the World Cup, maybe that list is going to be a little bit different, because there's some big games coming up. Portugal now got Morocco in the quarterfinals. England with Maguire, Shaw, and Rashford. We've got France on Saturday. We've got Malacia, who I don't think he's played a minute. Has he played a minute yet? I'm not sure. But they play against Argentina and Martinez. And then you've got Brazil against Croatia. And you've got Fred, Anthony, and Casemiro there. I'm going to read a few of your comments down there. Alex, I think this really is a conversation to be had. I think the armband comes away from Maguire at the end of the season, and it's redistributed. I think that's it seems right. Mark, you want an Argentina-Portugal final? Ooh, imagine that. I mean, it's not as if we're out. Imagine, God, imagine that. Jeez. Oh, because it would happen, right? If that does happen, if Argentina, Portugal get to the final, you'd imagine this lad is starting against, well, it's not imagine, he is starting against Morocco. And if he plays against Morocco and he scores again, how do you drop him from that team in the semi-final? If he scores again in the semi and they get to the final, how do you drop him? No, there's no way that would happen. Well, it could happen. Portugal get the whole way to the final, and then Ronaldo starts on the bench. I mean, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. Burger FK with some stats there. 17 goals in 24 games. Look, man, he is a very good striker. He has been breaking through at Benfica. Us having a conversation about him is not a reaction to one individual performance yesterday. But what that performance yesterday shows us is that Gonzalo Ramos is more than just a striker who's having a little bit of a breakthrough at Benfica. It shows us all that he's capable of more. He's capable of performing on the biggest of stages. And that in itself takes a bit of an element of risk away from signing him. And I said that in the video yesterday. And I will cover it in more detail in my video at lunchtime today, which will be about Gakpo versus Ramos, because they are two different profiles of attackers. And there's a really important debate that we've already been having this conversation all week, but it's time to put this into a nice short 10-minute video and for you to let me know what you think in the comments below. How many likes? We're on 284 likes. We need just over 200. So make sure everyone, you drop the like on the video and we'll open the box. But who do you think? Put your predictions in the comments now. What do you think the World Cup final is going to be? I reckon it'll be France, Brazil. I think England will. I don't know. Maybe that's just being the pessimistic, negative England fan, but I just can't look past Mbappe. I really can't, as much as I'd like to. Argentina versus Portugal final will be the saga of the century. Two men fighting over a bus pass. Mate, Lionel Messi's been very good at this World Cup. Well, certainly with the goals that he's been scoring. France, Brazil over there. Brazil versus France. Netherlands, France. France, Brazil. Well, lots of you saying France, Brazil there. Brazil, France. Brazil, Argentina. That's the semi-final then. It can't be the final. Brazil, France. Brazil, England. England, Argentina. England. Oh, my word. Could you imagine? I hadn't even considered that as an option. England, Argentina. Geez, that would be good. That would be good. France, Brazil. Lots of you are saying France, Brazil, Brazil, Portugal. Brazil, Portugal down there. Peter, you're saying France, Brazil, France. Brazil versus England. I mean, England in the World Cup final. Could you imagine? Argentina, France. England, Brazil. Brazil win. Morocco. Get Morocco in the final. Holland, Portugal. I don't think that will be happening. Hey, look, I don't know. Maybe Argentina, maybe Netherlands will surprise us. But having watched the Netherlands so far, their best performance certainly came against the USA. But they're very much sitting deep. They're jarring. I see Van Basten speaking on Dutch TV, just slagging the team the whole time. They don't particularly enjoy watching Van Gaal's football, but he's been their most successful manager. He's got them to another quarter final. And big up to Louis. I would love at some point to get the opportunity to interview Louis Van Gaal. You know how amazing that would be. One more little note from yesterday is I need to say I was really, really impressed with João Felix. It's kind of hard to choose a man of the match there between Portugal and Switzerland. There were so many. Who am I kidding? Of course, it was Gonzalo Ramos. But João Felix, he was playing in a bit of a deeper role, wasn't he? Kind of picking up the ball from the defense, effectively given a free roaming role. And João Felix was, he was quality to watch. He really, really was. And we've spoken about João Felix. We've seen that he's been linked with a move to Manchester United. I'll be honest, the profile of João Felix is one hell of an exciting individual. He's somebody who went to Atletico Madrid with such talent and promise, and he went into a very, very stifled system. It's Atletico Madrid, isn't it? It's pure discipline. It's every attacker becoming a defender as soon as they don't have the ball. It's I don't think it's a system that particularly suited him well. I also think I'm not sure where or how he would fit in at Manchester. Would he play alongside Bruno Fernandes as a number 8? That could potentially happen. I'll be honest. There is a possible there, but Felix was fantastic to watch. We've already had little conversations about Felix, but I certainly think a more prominent and correct conversation is to be discussing Gonçalo Ramos from that Portugal team rather than there. Geez, imagine that. Sam, he must be Ronaldo's sporting advisor. Look, Ronaldo's got his sporting advisor, but I have to admit, Ronaldo has, in my opinion, scored some serious own goals with his decisions and his actions over the last few months. And the only person responsible for that is Cristiano Ronaldo and the choices that he has made. And that's allowed decisions like this to exist. Oh, well, your choice is Ronaldo. But look at this, right? Look at this list. This is the list of Manchester United players who are playing in the World Cup quarterfinals. Marcia, Martinez, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, Rashford, Fred, Casemiro, Anthony, Telles, Dalot and Fernandes. The only way that Manchester United don't have a World Cup winner come that game against Nottingham Forest on the 27th of December is if Croatia or Morocco win it. That's the only way. We've got a player in Argentina, players in Brazil, in England, in France, and in Portugal. We've got 6 out of the 8 teams we have a player in. It really is Manchester United's World Cup. It's It's amazing. It really is amazing how well Manchester United's players, how influential Manchester United's players. Now, obviously, Tyrell Malacia hasn't been influential because he hasn't been playing, because Daley Blind's been playing as left back. But he's been in and around that team, so they kind of ignore that one. There are certain individuals that have had more of an impact. Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Casemiro. And there are others, so like Anthony, who hasn't played too much, and Malacia, who hasn't played at all. But it really is fantastic. It really is amazing, really, in my opinion. That, and I don't think it's a coincidence, man. That what you're looking at here is the consequence of Manchester United as a team starting to really sort of click, and the players took that sort of belief into the World Cup. There's no way that Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford and Casemiro would be playing the way they are playing if they came out of Manchester United with their heads down and their attitude was in the wrong place. What you're seeing is a continuation of the good work that's been happening at Manchester United, and I hope the continuation of the good work that's going to happen when we come back from the World Cup as well. I'm really, really excited for the second half of the season. I said it to you before. We've spoken about it. Arsenal had a cracking run. Absolutely cracking run so far in the Premier League. Wait until injuries kick in. Okay, Gabriel Jesus is now out for 3-4 months. There will be a couple more that come, and that starting 11 from Arsenal, let's see if they can keep up that momentum that they had for the first half of the season, because I very much doubt they will. That's a personal opinion, but let's see. In terms of this list, right, it's a long old list. Maybe there's going to be another name added to it. Maybe there isn't. But let's talk about Cody Gakpo, because we're seeing reports coming out from France. These aren't major reports. That's why we're only speaking about it halfway through the show. With a 75 million euro price tag on Cody Gakpo. Now, for a lot of you, that might seem like a lot. For Man United, I reckon they're just going to be saying this.
We're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway.
Yes, Barry hasn't been here in a while. There he is. There he is. 75 million seems like a lot, right, for Cody Gakpo. I don't particularly. It is a lot for Cody Gakpo, but you know what? This for me. If I'm PSV, if I'm Benfica, if I'm any club selling after the World Cup, and a club will come to me and say, how much for Ramos? 70 million. Oh, that's a lot of money. How much for Gakpo? 75 million. Oh, that's a lot of money. All I have to do now is point towards this. Real Madrid are closing in on signing Endrick from Palmeiras for a fee where the package will be worth in total 72 million euros. 72 million euros. Endrick is 16 years old. Right? 16. Now, I know that he'll be staying at Palmeiras for like a year or two and then only come, I think, a little bit like what Real Madrid did with Vinicius Jr. The 72 million euros for a 16-year-old, right? These are, Alex, you're down there doing this. It's exactly what it is. It's the ripple effect. If I'm PSV and I'm selling Cody Gakpo and someone tries to scoff at 75 million, I'll just point to the fact that Real Madrid are about to pay 72 million for a 16-year-old. Laugh all you want. Off you go. I'm going to wait for someone to pay it, because they will pay it. These sorts of transfers have major impacts in all other deals. And I'm staggered they're going to pay that much, but it almost feels like Real Madrid are too shit scared of missing out on any potential Neymar in the future that they just want to go out and spend money. Big money. 70 plus million on a 16-year-old is absolutely mind-boggling. No matter how good they are. Geez, talk about a risk. It might pay off. It might pay off. Mate, and Real Madrid don't have levers. They own the bank. It's a much easier thing. Stephen, you're right down there saying it is a ridiculous amount of money for a 16-year-old. But it's why conversations like this are just commonplace in football now. 75 million, we might all look at that and go, wow. Wow. And then you realize, actually, given what he's done at the World Cup, given the season he's having, given the fact that there's precedent, because that's what it happens. Like when in court, that's what lawyers use. They use precedent from previous cases to prove things in their case as evidence. And the precedent of Real Madrid that are about to spend 72 million on Endrick, a 16-year-old, that's all the evidence that PSV need. We're going to need transfer. And I tell you what, this is exactly why the Glazers are running away now, because they know that they can't financially manage Manchester United in the same way that they have previously. Football and the influx of state ownership and oil money has sort of created that this we got to this point now. We feel like it's exploded, but I feel like it's only going to get crazier. Geez, remember that time when they signed Neymar for 200 mil? And then they tried to sign Mbappe, Real Madrid did, for like nearly 200 mil. It was 150, even though he had 1 year left on his deal. Football's just going to get wilder and wilder and wilder. And the fees are going to get more and more expensive. So what I suppose what my point here is that you can't get too downbeat on the idea that Gakpo for 75 million is overpriced. It's just a going rate now. It's just, that's what the market is. When you're a top level club and you want to sign a player, you're going to have to overpay. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But look, as I said, my video at lunchtime today is going to be on this lad and Gakpo. I'm going to compare their profiles. How are they different as attackers? They're both goal scorers, yes, but they are very, very different attackers. And it's in this video where I want you to let me know exactly which one you want to sign. Not which one of those two you want to sign, but which profile. We've spoken about it before. We've had debates here in the comments here as well. But I want to do that. We are just 140 likes shy of opening the box up there and getting today's giveaway. So make sure you drop a like on the video. And let's move on to what I consider to be a very exciting point. Because United are back in action tonight. We get to watch Manchester United play against Cadiz. Yes, it's not the whole first team, but there are some players out there. We've got De Gea, we've got Lindelof, we've got Wan-Bissaka, we've got McTominay, Van der Beek, and Martial. And we've got Garnacho, and we've got our youngsters like Charlie McNeil, Kobbie Mainoo. We've got Mark Gerardo, we've got Gore, we've got some cracking players to watch. And I think it's an exciting couple of games we've got coming up. Jonathan, you're saying our fee for Anthony was the craziest. Yeah, Jonathan, we got shafted there because we shafted ourselves. In the same way that Ronaldo right now is getting shafted because of the own decisions he's made. Manchester United got shafted for Anthony because we waited too long in the window. We waited until we had lost 2 games. We backed ourselves into a corner, and then we had to overpay. That's our own problem. But this is what Erik ten Hag said about the sort of objectives of these next 2 games, starting with the game against Cadiz tonight. He goes to get fitter and improve fitness levels this season so far, especially in attack. We didn't always have the players available, but when they were available, they weren't always capable of being at the right fitness levels to compete. And I think that's kind of fair to say. If there's one person we're looking at tonight, it's this lad. If we're looking at one person who could really, really benefit and have an immediate impact in that first team, we've got to be looking at Anthony Martial. Now that Cristiano Ronaldo's gone, Anthony Martial, I mean, he always was our main man anyway. If Martial was fit, he would have started every game this season. We've got to where we are so far this season without really having a fit, proper, in-form number 9 striker. And that's quite impressive when you think about it. But Anthony Martial, as Erik ten Hag is saying there, look, fitness is a big, big thing. And I'm looking forward to watching Martial. I think he'll start tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'll run through my starting 11. Let's see what else Erik ten Hag had to say ahead of the game. He said this as well. He goes, look, Cadiz played against Real Madrid in their last game. Only lost 2-1. So we know they're a difficult opponent. I mean, they're second bottom, so I wouldn't really go that far. And he also said this about the youngsters. He goes, look, it's a great opportunity for the youngsters. A lot of players at the World Cup, so there are positions available. They can show themselves and compete with players who play in the Premier League. So it is fantastic for them. And I've spoken about this before, and I've mentioned just how good that timing was of us winning the FA Youth Cup and Erik ten Hag coming in as manager. It felt really right. And we saw it with Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal were the 2 standout players, youth players from the pre-season tour. If we're looking at this mini tour, if you want to call it that, 2 games in Spain in December, it's a bit random, but it is what it is. It's a bit like Liverpool. I think they're in Dubai for some sort of Super Cup. Quite a lot of players are doing it. The teams are doing it, sorry. I'm looking towards Charlie McNeil and I'm looking towards Kobbie Mainoo. They are the 2 players that I would like to see get opportunities. Now, this was my predicted 11 for the game tonight, right? You can let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Let's try and get this tactics up here. I haven't done one of these in a while. Jeez, it's been a while since United played a game of football. I went for that as my midfield 3. I went for McTominay. Man, kudos. You're right there. I think I said that about 6 times in that video yesterday. I kept calling it preseason because it's got that preseason vibe, doesn't it? Absolutely got that preseason vibe. Shane, wash your mouth out. Wash your mouth out. Can't be saying that. Ooh. Jonathan, you're probably right there. Hannibal and Fernandes, they're having cracking seasons on loan at Birmingham and Preston. I'll probably do a loan roundup video at some point. I just haven't done one quite yet. But I would love to see that as a midfield. I would love to see Mainoo being played. I think Scott McTominay, there isn't too much experience in this team. I've gone for Heaton in goal. You could probably get De Gea in there. Maybe you will. Maybe you just do that. Maybe you put De Gea in there instead. I don't know. I think De Gea should just be given the rest during this this time anyway. And I spoke about putting Iqbal there instead of Van der Beek. I don't know. It feels like Van der Beek might still get some more opportunity. I'm not really sure. I'm really not sure. What do you think in the comments? Liam, you're thinking that Mainoo won't start. Mate, you're probably right. You're probably right. You're probably more likely to see Iqbal there considering what happened during the preseason. I don't know. It's just that I would like to see it. That's why I put it in there. So maybe it wasn't completely a predicted 11. Maybe it's a little bit skewed because it's something that I actually want to see happen. But I'd like to see him get some minutes. Alex, you're saying Mainoo, McNeil, and Iqbal for me. Hope they get game time. I think in particular Iqbal. He looked really, really ready when he played in the preseason. But so did the whole United team. And then we lost against Brighton. So you can't judge too much in the preseason. I absolutely am aware of that. But Iqbal and Savage both look very, very impressive. What's your opinion on Reece Bennett? Hey, look, I think, Jonathan, you mentioned it down there about how impressive Bennett was in the FA Youth Cup final. Mengi, I think, is just a little bit further ahead. Let's see whether or not he comes in and he gets his opportunity. But yeah, you may well see Bennett in there instead. Let's put Bennett down there. Lindelof, I believe, will start there. Wan-Bissaka, I'll be honest, I'm personally done. I'm personally done with Wan-Bissaka. But maybe he'll get an opportunity here. And you're saying, look, I think he'll go with the closest to the first team. I mean, that pretty much is the closest to the first team. I'm not sure who else you could chuck in there that's senior. There is no one else you could chuck in who's senior. You're playing Garnacho, you're playing Martial, you're playing Elanga, you're playing Van der Beek, you're playing McTominay, you're playing Lindelof, you're playing De Gea. Well, if he plays De Gea. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-ish positions there. What's your predictions for the game tonight? I know it's very, very difficult to predict these sort of games. These games ultimately have no bearing across the course of our season. But these games, everything is all about momentum in life. I don't think the momentum of these games will have too much of an impact because effectively we've got Christmas coming up still. We've got the end of the World Cup coming up. It's kind of irrelevant. So it's more like a training camp, if you want to call it that. Games that really won't have too much bearing going forward. But at a time where these youngsters will have so much more visibility under Erik ten Hag. They've got the manager's eyes, man. So many of the first team squad just aren't there, and they won't get this sort of opportunity. I said it in my preview video that I'm really impressed that Manchester United, not impressed, but I thought it was a smart idea for United to take Mark Dempsey out there. He's the under-21s coach, and he's working with Ten Hag now to make sure that gap between the under-21s, under-18s, and the first team is shortened and that they're all playing the similar style of football. Ronan, honestly, it's a bit of a joke now. Like, can we just announce that his contract has been terminated by mutual consent? Because Phil Jones has been on his quote-unquote individual training plan for all season. And he's just never been seen. It's like he's training underground in a cage. It's odd. Daniel, you think we're going to go for a 1-0 win? Let's pull this back up here. Kenny, you're going for a 2-2. Yeah, why not? 2-1 says David there. 2-0 says Charlie. Martin, you're going for a 2-0. Quite a few of you going for 2-0 there. Yeah, of course, Mengi. Where was Mengi on loan last season? Was it Birmingham? Tedem Mengi. I don't know whether it was Birmingham or not. Might have got that completely wrong. Oh, no, it was Birmingham. 10 out of 10 for the football knowledge, yeah. Just gave myself a 10 out of 10. Very nice. Jonathan, you think De Gea will feature? I don't know. And that's very unusual for you. The natural pessimism. At some point, it might leave you, but probably not. Cadiz are hard to play against, even though they are poor in the league table. Hey, look, we'll find out tonight. Phelan and Jones have rented a caravan in Cornwall. He's going to come out with the Wayne Rooney beard from the Nike advert. Look, I'm looking forward to watching United play. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing this lad, Charlie McNeil, getting a couple of, I don't know, maybe a couple of minutes. I want to see Charlie McNeil feature at some point in both of the games. Whether it's a 5-minute, a 10-minute, a 15, 20, I don't know. Whatever it is, Charlie McNeil, you've got Charlie McNeil and Joe Hugo were two really impressive goal scorers who are in our academy teams, and Charlie McNeil is certainly the one that's closer towards that first team breakthrough. He's actually a year older than Alejandro Garnacho, which goes to show just how impressive Garnacho's breakthrough has been. But that's what's happened. He's been in a position where United have had weakness, and he's become through, and he's offered something that no one else has done. And that's what we need up front. Ronaldo's gone. There's an opportunity. There's a space inside that squad, certainly at the very least until we sign a new striker. And therefore, Charlie McNeil deserves those opportunities. And I think Charlie McNeil should be getting some chances. Jonathan, you're saying you're going to be disappointed with McNeil. Yeah, maybe the loan spell is exactly what he needs. And maybe he's going to be more like Shoda Shoretire when he came through, and who I still think really needs to get a loan spell before we consider him as a first-team option. But you won't know that until he comes on. So I think these two games, the perfect opportunity just to let him step up from that under-21s, under-18s level and show how he can do it in more of a first-team environment. And maybe we can see, because I don't think Martial is going to play 90 minutes every game in both games. Maybe he will, actually. Maybe that's how he's going to get his fitness, but I'm not sure. What else are you saying down here in the comments? I'm sure Gomez will work more than Gakpo. Left wing full. Who's Gomez? I don't know who Gomez is. I don't know who you mean. Sorry. Jones. Nah, man. I don't. Phil Jones has. I can't really say too much negative about Phil Jones from a professional perspective. Remember when he played against Wolves last year? Was it last year? I think it was last year. And we were dog shit. And Phil Jones, it was his first game back, and it was like the butt of the jokes. And he came back and he was amazing. Phil Jones has had some serious hardship with injuries, man. It's become a laughing stock. And I can't imagine the mental turmoil that he's gone through of just a constant cycle of 6 months rehab and doing it again and again. And I'm not going to sort of take any pleasure in that downfall. And there's no way that I would put him in the same category there, as he's not going to be going to Piers Morgan to try and air his dirty laundry. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. What else are you saying in the comments? You let me know. How many likes we're on now? We're on 413. We need another 87, and then we can open the box. So if you haven't dropped a like on the video yet, drop a like on the video, because the Christmas Cantona box, he needs to be opened. Look, was it over 1,000 of you watching? What are we on? Yeah, over 1,000 watching, and less than 500 of you had liked it. So there's over 500 of you right now that could literally go, boom, drop a like on it. Could that happen at once? I've never seen that many likes at once. I don't think it does. And you're saying, to be fair, William Prunier would look amazing after. Oh, geez, William Prunier. Was it one appearance he had for Man United? He's one of those dudes, isn't he? It's proper pub quiz question. Proper pub quiz. That's what I think. So anyway, what else are you saying down here in the comments? Jones is unlucky. Jones needs to leave. Wow. You know, he can have a testimonial now. Phil Jones could have a testimonial at Man United. I think he's been in long enough. If not, he's on the verge of it. Ultimate warrior of dodging being sold. He's got some nudes, man. Phil Jones got some serious nudes of somebody. That's all I know. Andrew Humphreys. I feel like people don't know where the like button is. I don't know. Honestly, if I was to put a vote up, more people would engage in the vote rather than dropping a like on the video. It's just people enjoy doing that. Huddleston should play. Jeez, I forgot he was down there as an academy coach. But look, I'm enjoying the idea that United are going to be back in action tonight. I like watching United play. Funny that. And I love watching youngsters get their opportunities. I don't think it's going to be a spectacular game. I really, really don't. But I'm just looking forward to seeing youngsters getting their opportunity. I want to see Martial, man. At this moment in time, the second half of our season, whether it's a success or not, effectively, in my opinion, depends on the fitness of Anthony Martial. It's a big weakness inside the squad. It's why we're having conversations around new strikers. It's why Goncalo Ramos is now going to be a conversation we have today. Not off the back of that performance yesterday, but that shows that he's capable of being a smaller fish in a big pond, and he can leave Benfica, and he does have the capability to step it up a level. That's what I think. So anyway, just 15 shy now. Look, everyone's actually listened and got on down there. If you're not tapping, you're napping. Don't know why you're tapping. Tapping up people? That still happen these days? Not really sure. Jones said himself, only his parents would turn up for his hair. Oh, man. Phil Jones, man. Phil Jones. When that finishes, that's going to be something that we all look back on and go, cannot believe that career happened at Manchester United. I really cannot believe it. It's absolutely mad, isn't it? 489. Look, I'll bring the box down now. So drop a like on the video because it'll probably be 500 by the time I sit back down with the box. Let's get it open. That's my Christmas song, apparently. Apparently, I've got a Christmas song. Who knew? But look, Cantona's still looking pretty happy about it, isn't he? And today's... Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one today. I think so, anyway. If I do say so myself. This one, we're giving away a hoodie. Giving away a Fight the Glazers hoodie. It's going to become... I don't know. I just love it. I love this design. I honestly, I'm not sure which my favorite design is because I love the Butcher one, but this, especially at the time that it was released, like a month before the Glazers actually just announced they were going to sell the club. It feels, man, it feels right. It feels right. So this one's up for grabs. Obviously, it'll be a brand new one. It won't just be this one. All you're going to have to do is engage with the video that goes out at lunchtime today. So anybody who leaves a comment on the Ramos Gakpo video, you're going to be entered into a draw. I'm going to go back there tomorrow and I'm going to choose a winner. I forgot, actually. I haven't chosen a winner. I'll write it down and I'll announce the winner for yesterday's one on tomorrow's stream. I apologize about that. I haven't actually chosen a winner from yesterday. But yeah, I promise everybody who wins, I'm reaching out to you. And if you get in contact with me, then you will win the prize. And I've said this before, anybody who doesn't reply to me, those prizes are going to be rolled over until a big giveaway towards the end of December. Julie, no, this video that goes out is going to be just a normal video on YouTube. Just a video that goes out at lunchtime today. Make sure you leave a comment on that. And anybody who leaves a comment on that, you will be entered into the draw. David, my man, honestly, as I said, thank you. Game, I think that's this one, isn't it? I think this is the vanilla white one. All of your support for the merch has been humbling, if I'm honest. That's probably the best word I can use to describe it. This community, I never thought the community would be this wicked, this generous, and this involving. I'm really looking forward to doing some sort of live shows and live events at some point in the future. Definitely working on that. Looking forward to doing a couple of live call-ins later on in December. We'll do a drunk one for Christmas. That'll be fun. But look, thank you, everyone. Daniel, yeah, it ships everywhere around the world apart from, I think it's South Africa, Philippines. There's like 5 countries. It's all written on the website, though, but it ships all around the world. And, yeah, look, you can see it down there. Because of the postal strikes in the UK, they're pretty bad at the moment. The guaranteed delivery date, if you order by midnight tonight, then you're guaranteed to get it before Christmas. Any day past today, we can't guarantee it probably will turn up before Christmas, but we can't guarantee it. So if you really want to make sure you avoid disappointment, then order before midnight tonight. But look, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure that you tune in later on. I'm going to have my match reaction out after that game tonight. I'm going to be watching the Cadiz game, which kicks off at 7 p.m. I'm loving the World Cup at the moment. I'm loving how good United players are. And as long as Croatia and Morocco don't win it, no offense to them, then Man United will have a World Cup winner back in our squad. At least one World Cup winner back in our squad. Come the start of the second part of the season, whatever you want to call it. That's good. I'm loving that. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for dropping likes on the video, getting us to the 500. Tomorrow we go again. Another giveaway, another 500 likes. But I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, thank you very much, everyone, for all your support. Take it easy.